I love your home already, and I haven't even seen it. Does that sound crazy? It's not. When we improve our surroundings, we simultaneously empower ourselves, which means every inch of space within your reach right now is an opportunity to tell the story you want to be living. Tell me that's not its own kind of wonderful. I have spent the last 15 years consulting clients and their homes through the wisdom of feng shui, intentional design, and some crystal clear communication. And you know what happens when you bring those three together? Life-changing magic. Your home is already in a conversation with you, so why not learn how to merge that awareness with some simple, straightforward, and smart action to co-create the life you want? I'm Amanda Gibby Peters, and I'm here to help you learn how. Welcome to House Therapy. Years ago, I was compiling a list of my top 10 favorite blog posts, and as I copied and pasted those links into the body of an email, I realized that they had a common visual thread. Each was postmarked, if you will, with images of fresh flowers, and I remember smiling. Bright buds and colorful blooms make me ridiculously happy. In fact, I was recently in Mexico City for a retreat and a photo shoot, and I ordered flowers from a local shop because I couldn't fathom not having them in a photo session. So, when I was brand new to feng shui, one of the practices I could commit to with reliable consistency, the shui I could best pair with my intentions, was having fresh flowers in our home. Mind you, it was definitely a decadent splurge for us at the time, and like so many of my clients and maybe some of you, it felt extravagant, absolutely unnecessary as I was contemplating which bundle to buy, because I often was doubting if it was really even a good use of our money because, hey, fresh flowers don't last that long. But, and you know I like a big but, because shui associates flowers with fresh, radiant energy and abundance and wealth and prosperity, I kept buying them. And I experimented mostly with whatever was cheapest on the day that I went in. And back then, it was always the stargazer lilies. So eventually I started noticing arrangements in different places that I went, and I would copy them or mimic that in our home. So I would pair gladiolas and stargazers or ranunculus and roses. And I also became really familiar with the grocery store selections and who had better prices on certain flora. And I even started asking what days flower deliveries came in, because that way I could either splurge on bouquets on the actual delivery day, knowing that they would last a while, or I could grab a bouquet that was discounted because a new delivery was imminent. And here's what I want you to know. Here we are almost 20 years later, and I am completely certain that this seemingly small gesture and weekly now, but back then maybe bi-weekly investment changed our lives. So today, I want to discuss most of the excuses and reasons I hear to not buy flowers, and I'm going to talk you through them. And first up, the most obvious, fresh flowers are too expensive. Okay, so I will still buy several bouquets for less than $20. In fact, Peruvian lilies are often $4.99 a bundle, and they look really fab bunched together. And if you buy them before the buds are actually open, they will last a couple weeks. Baby's breath also gives off extravaganza vibes while keeping things pretty economical. So if this is your excuse, here's what I'm going to say. You got to be comfortable with spending money, with what wealth looks like and feels like and seems like before it arrives in your life. Otherwise, you will be just as uncomfortable should it spontaneously land on your doorstep. When we are closed off to beauty and wealth, before we even look or consider our options, we are going to create that experience and outcome in our lives with everything else. So, my suggestion for moving through this is decide what you can spend and then go look. By the way, I have found that Shui really loves to play this game, and my bet is when you do go look, there will be a bundle perfectly priced for you. All right, next step. I'm going to wait until the guests come. The holidays are here. I see them on sale. Now, if you haven't figured this out by now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When we wait for the perfect moment, it doesn't come. And instead, we squander precious, plush opportunities sitting right in front of us, waiting for our participation. Now, I may have shared this quote before, but hey, it's totally worth another share if I did. So here you go. The more attractive you make whatever your ambition, and the more you approach it in a spirit of fun, the more others will want to play along to make your dream a reality. That is from Henrietta Clauser. Okay, so buckle up because science and Shui are about to have a fling. So your brain, my brain, everyone's brain has a group of cells at the base of the brainstem known as the Reticular Activating Center, or RAC for short. It's a filtering system. It basically sends urgent information to our active brain and directs the rest to our subconscious. So this is how we are filtering information every day. Thank you, RAC. So let's say you have wealth on the brain. However you think of it, whatever that symbol is for you, you might notice that you, quote unquote, see more of it when you're thinking about it, right? Well, once you have filtered information, you become a lot more focused without realizing it. This same group of cells is actually why moms will wake in the middle of the night at the slightest sound from their child. They have, through this filter, tuned out everything else in order to hear a cry, a cough, a coo. And fresh flowers and the wealth chi they provide keep you focused on opportunities and possibilities and invitations to align with wealth. Never mind, they're also keeping you steeped in that auspicious luck chi. So, you are actually the reason to buy fresh flowers today. There is no fancy party or good enough reason to wait. All right, excuse 3. This one I hear all the time, and that is, well, I just don't know where I'd really put a vase of flowers. And the short answer is anywhere, honey. Choose a place you spend time. Maybe in the bathroom when you're getting ready in the morning, maybe in your office if you sit there all day, or the kitchen. The kitchen happens to be a place, by the way, where everyone is likely to enjoy them, and it is so synonymous with prosperity. They sort of have this made for each other vibe. But wherever you choose, when we have beauty anchored in a space, the eye drinks it in, and it feeds the subconscious all those really delicious, delightful messages you have about flowers. So think about it. When you see fresh flowers, you think, oh, only expensive places have them. Only wealthy people buy them. Only... and insert your story here. You see, our excuses for not buying flowers actually give us insight into what we think when we see a wild mutiny of blooms. They're extravagant. Something special is happening. And every day is a reason to celebrate that energy, that kind of life. So when we keep company with fresh blooms, those thoughts become the deposits that we're making in our home. And then that's reinforced every time our eyes and our brains meet those pretty flowers. All right, another excuse that loves to hit the dance floor. They don't last long enough, so it's not worth the money. And listen, I hear you on this one. I really, really do. And if you'd caught me about 2 decades ago, I would have nodded vigorously along with you. But you know what I know now for sure? Flowers are brilliant at teaching us to enjoy the present moment fully, because guess what? No 2 moments are the same ever. And when we resist change, because we want to keep things the same, energy can get stagnant and static. And this is usually when people stop feeling alive and start feeling stuck. Their days feel monotonous, predictable, and sometimes even like a rut that they can't escape. Flowers are a really glorious and can be an inexpensive way, especially if you consider the alternatives, to break up and brighten up energy patterns in our homes and lives. Okay, final excuse we're going to discuss. Well, I bought flowers, but they aren't changing anything. All right, every time I hear this feedback, here's what I'm really thinking. Things aren't changing the way we want them to. The timing, the circumstances, the outcome, there's something about the details that aren't meeting our expectations. But here's the thing. Everything is energy, and flowers irrefutably serve up nourishing, refreshing, generous chi, guaranteed. So even if it's not noticeable to us, the air around us is being changed. And with each sip of water and this orchestration of blossoming buds, flowers are literally moving right in front of us, and they are sending their little delightful chi ripples out into our homes and into our lives. So on that note, I want to wrap today's conversation with a few ways for you to work with and consider blooms, as in, if you want to get more specific and prescriptive, this is for you. So if you're dealing with health issues, go for white blooms. If you want to rev up love chi, find pink blossoms. For those of you who are all about the money, honey, purple buds are your best answer. Flowering branches, so I want you to think dogwood, plum, cherry. They're all powerhouses when overcoming obstacles. Think about how these really spring to life after the long winter months, and that's kind of the adversity hurdler that each of them are. So if you need a whiff of hope or maybe a little bit of chi assistance overcoming adversity and challenges, now you know. I mentioned stargazers and gladiolas at the beginning of the episode, and both represent the acquisition of wealth and abundance. Plus, stargazers perfume the air perfectly. Like, I like to think of them as the original microdosers. Ranunculus charm creativity all day long, so they play really well, actually, to attraction energy. Protea suggests full tilt courage. They're totally here for your transformation, and they also happen to be one of my favorites. The carnation is another house favorite, and the meanings vary here because it's really dependent on their color, but underneath the color, this bloom babe is all about love. As for orchids, another signature favorite here, they're really great for recalibrating our creativity. They're fantastic for refining clarity, and they're really good at delivering career energy while also maintaining a really lovely influence in our family harmony. If you want to inspire some sort of transformation energy, try a bundle of sunflowers. If you're in the mood for a swell of lucky opportunities, then keep a few bundles of crimson red flowers around a room as focal points. And if you're having problems with, say, neighbors or coworkers, you can put some orange flowers either between your houses or bring a bundle of orange blooms into the office every week, and you will watch those lines of connection and communication sway your way. All right, there are two things I think I'm incredibly good at. One, teaching shui, and two, inspiring people to make a little more room for beauty in their lives. And I firmly and adamantly and almost evangelically believe that flowers are gorgeous preachers of the good life. They shower our space with a little extra love. So my challenge for you is to let those excuses go, mix things up, and maybe step out to buy some gorgeous chi today. And just like that, it's another episode wrap. A million thanks for being here and listening today. And if you're not quite ready for this conversation to end, come find me on the gram. I'm at Amanda Gibby Peters, or grab a copy of my book, Simple Shui for Every Day, available at Amazon and Bookshop and anywhere you get your books. And if you want to work with me, check out simpleshui.com for all the ways we can make that happen. Cheers to a marvelous week, sweets, and I hope to see you back here in a week. Until then, give that house of yours some big love for me.